Raso, played a few different positions tonight. How did that feel, and how's your leg going as well?
Legs a bit sore actually. No, yeah, I think it's good to be versatile. I feel like I can play in a few different positions, but whatever my job is for the team, I'll go out there and do that. So, yeah, played in a few, but I feel like I did the job.
How was it to have Elise on the pitch for New Zealand?
Yeah, amazing. She's worked so hard, and it's been, I think, a number of years, but she's such a staple to this team. She's so important, and it's really nice to have her back on the pitch with us.
How frustrating is it knowing that, like, even though you got the one goal, you hit the woodwork on multiple different occasions in the culture? Like, how frustrating is it that you weren't able to finish as much as perhaps you would have liked?
Yeah, we had a lot of chances. I think we need to be a little bit more clinical. Yeah, myself, I had a few chances that I should have finished off, and as a team, I think we had a lot of shots on goals. So I'm just working on being more clinical, but in the end, it's the result that counts, and it was an important win.
One more question for Hayley, if anyone has it.
How do you sum the year up in general? Obviously, four wins to win the year, but some tough results in the middle there. How do you sum that up?
Yeah, it's been a tough year. Like you said, a few tough results, but coming off the back of 4 wins now, it's really important to finish the year strong, heading into next year, which is going to be a really big year for us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Go Hayley.
Thanks, Russ. Take care of the leg.
Thank you.
Thanks. Are you ready? So, I guess one of the goals was to score before the 40th minute. That didn't happen. I mean, but what are some goals to take out, and what do you feel about the late goal?
Well, first of all, I think we started off the game phenomenally. One of the best starts in a game in a very long time. We were flying. We worked really hard to come out of that Sweden game to kind of park that reset and say we need to be humble enough and show who we are. And I think we really did, especially those first 10 minutes. We were really flying. Then, like we talked about here, sometimes games is this way. It was the conversion. Like in Sweden, we converted. We were brilliant in the final third. Our final pass and the finishing was fantastic. And then tonight, I think we need to give credit to the Thailand goalkeeper. I think she had a phenomenal game. And also I think the woodwork had a phenomenal game. And sometimes that happens. And it's not about maybe lack of concentration or it's one of those days. And what I said to the players, when it is one of those days, because it's not that all of a sudden we have gotten worse in finishing than a Sweden game. You don't get, for that short of a time. It's just one of those days sometimes. But when those days happens, it's so important that you stay focused in defending and keep that clean sheet and don't give them that easy way into a game. And then all of a sudden it becomes a tight game again. It was a 2-0 win, but I think it was a very, very dominant 2-0 win. I think it was more than that, if that makes sense.
How do you feel about Elise Kilnight getting her?
I am emotional when I talk about that because I know what she's been through. She, 2.5 years and she's been through a crossroad moment in her career that could have been a career-ending moment. But with her personality, her professionalism, her experience, she have fought her way back, and also with the help of a support system around her, that her being out there tonight, like again, I get a bit emotional now because it's so you can't explain how big it is for her and for the team, and you can see how the team get around her as well and have that moment. So I'm so happy for Keiki to get those minutes on the pitch because she deserves it.
Coach, nearly 8 months to the day until the FIFA World Cup. In terms of the development and progress of your team, after looking back at this year now, do you think you're on track ahead of where you wanted to be? Where do you think you stand on kind of that progress up to the World Cup?
Well, when I sit here, it's probably going to be like a subjective measurement on that one. I'll try to answer it good as I can, but what we will do is we will do a yearly review together with all our experts, looking at exactly what it looks like in terms of performances, because sometimes you can get blinded by results as well. Like, for example, I said, the Sweden game, it wasn't as good as everyone said it was. There's a lot of things that, we could have been down a goal there in that first half. Like, Canada game wasn't as bad as people said it was. It was actually, those 45 minutes we were dominating Canada, one of the best halves of the year. So I want to really go in depth and look at the analysis, both team-wise but also individual players. Because what we need to do now going into 23 is start to narrowing down towards the 23 players. And it's not just about a strong starting lineup, it's about a strong finishing lineup as well, because it takes 23 and 23. I think we felt early on this year that we were onto something. We had a couple of really, really good performances against New Zealand. If you remember when Minnie came in as the first game in the midfield, we felt already there, hey, we're onto something here. One piece of the puzzle, maybe another one. And then because we had that break in the summer with a lot of players gone, I think that window blinded a lot of people for natural reasons. You know, have 8-9 core players losing 7-0 and such. So that kind of affected, I think, a lot of people. Coming back then into the September, October, November window, we were really happy with some of the performance against Canada, especially that last second half, and felt this is who we are, this is what we want to do, but we need to do it in longer periods of time. Sorry for the long answers, but I think it's difficult to say, are we where we need to be, where we expected us to be. I just feel that we finished the year in a really good note with, I think, 13 goals in 4 games, conceded 2 clean sheets, 4 wins, and that is not just because we won, it's the performances behind those wins that I'm happy with. So we're heading in the right direction.
Thanks, Coach.
You mentioned that, I think it was the Canada game was not as bad as everyone says it was, and the Sweden game was not as good as everyone says it was, but regardless of that, it's still 4 wins on the trot. That's, like, at the end of the day, that's going to be, what's, what judges how the team performs. How good is it to know that the team's actually getting on that run and they've won 4 straight?
I think there's 2 reasons why it's good. One is obviously confidence, like internally, individual players and the team feel confident and believe in what we're doing. The belief was there before, but wins gives you more confidence. And the other thing is momentum. I think it's important to understand we're going into this World Cup together. Everyone in this room, the fans, like look at tonight as well, like we're doing this together. And I think the wins create that momentum, and we need everyone around us to believe in this team and carry this team through. And in that sense, I think it's massive that we have these 4 wins, because we get the nation behind us. Not that they haven't been before, but the belief rises with wins.
One final question. We'll go to the last one.
Tony, we saw Charlotte Grant come off at half time. Hobbling a bit, was she alright? Was there anything?
Yeah, well, she did. She was one of those that got a knock in training before the Sweden game. That was a question mark. She was able to push through that game, and then she got a ball, hurt her ankle again. And I just felt, hey, she's been pushing through already with some pain, and now she got that knock. Plus, we had planned to look at, if we had opportunity this game, we wanted to look at some things. And as you saw, it was a bit patchy in the second half because she moved things around. But we felt we needed to take this last game and last opportunity to look at some players in different positions. So I think Charlotte could have pushed, or I know she could because she's a warrior. If I wouldn't her to push through in the second half, she would. But it was an opportunity to protect her, but also get some answers on other positions.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.